defensive standard here has been so high. And so with that in mind, I pose the question, how would you assess like the collective defensive performance in the first two playoff games?
Yeah, not good enough. Not good enough at all. And you mentioned it, the standard has been what it has been for as long as I've been here, and we've relied heavily on winning games on defense. Holding teams to minimal points, suffocating teams, dictating how the game's going to go based off of how we go, and that hasn't been the case the last two games, and that's for a bunch of different reasons, but we have an opportunity to right that. They're probably looking at the tape, they're thinking they have a great opportunity ahead, and they as they should look at that tape, and they should think that. But to say that we have a great opportunity to correct that and make sure that we give our best performance in the Super Bowl, I think that's exactly where our mindset's at.
What's been the issue with the run defense in particular? I think they're even at like 5.6 yards per carry in the playoffs, which is so unlike you guys.
Yeah, I mean, it's a collection of things. I think on any given play when we're not executing the right way, it's just either one guy out of a gap, it's not giving great effort as a whole, as a group, like we have been in the past. When you're playing violent, you're playing fast, you're playing with great effort, that cleans a lot of that stuff up. So it's from an execution standpoint, from a standard standpoint, like we just got to make sure we get back to that.
In this game, you've played in this game now before. What did the one experience that you had in this game, teach you about maybe your approach the second time around? You
got to play a full 60 minutes. To say, we're up by 10 points late in the game, and I'm thinking, hey, like we're about to win us a Super Bowl, and that thing switched pretty quick, and that scarred me for life. Like, because now to this day, it doesn't matter if it's a preseason, regular season, playoff game. I never start getting excited until that clock hits zero. And so that's got to be the mindset. Playing all the way to the very end, because they got a pretty special guy back there throwing the football, and we got to do our best to stuff them.
Scar you for life. The fact that it's the same team, same coach, same quarterback, even the same color uniforms are going to wear that day. What emotions does that bring, and how do you channel them?
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure that's going to get built up all week. The rematch and that sort of thing. I think at the end of the day, there is two completely different teams because there's a lot of different faces on each side of the ball. I think we just got to treat this as it is. This is a different offense than what it was back then when we played them. It does have a lot of similar players there, obviously in crucial positions, but we just got to make sure we prepare the right way and we're ready to go on Sunday.
After that Super Bowl, you felt like you said after that Super Bowl you felt like you felt you could get back there. This is just kind of the mindset becomes like, oh, it's easy to get back here because you did it so young in your career. What was the most difficult part of getting back there over these last few years, whether it was COVID year or coming up short in the NFC Championship? What has struck you the most about that climb back?
Yeah, I mean, every year is kind of different. I think, you think back to 21, we barely scraped into the playoffs on that last, game of the season and fought our way to the NFC Championship game and lost to a really good Rams team who went on to win the Super Bowl. And then last year we lose our quarterback in the NFC Championship game, don't really have a chance at it. And then this year being down in both games in the playoffs to then come back and win them, I think in every single one of those situations it's just been different, even going back to 19. So every year is different. You got to find a way to win and get over that hump. It comes down to one or two plays in the game in the playoffs and even into the Super Bowl.
The Ravens have a very good defense, really good linebackers. They knew that they had to stop Travis Kelce in that last game, and they didn't. What makes that so special for the Chiefs, that quarterback tight end relationship that they have?
Yeah, I think they obviously have as great a bond as any 1-2 punch in the NFL, like from a quarterback and skilled player position, maybe in history. I think the fact that they know Pat knows exactly where Kelce's going to be on every given play. Kelce having the confidence and the trust in Pat that he can run his routes a certain way where it's not necessarily going to be by the playbook. He's just going to try and find open space, and they can, they can just kind of have a feel out there on the field. You can go into a game saying, we're just going to double them, and that's going to open up other things. So you want to try to stay true as well as contest that. But, yeah, I mean, they're obviously, the best to do it.
When you went into the locker room at halftime Sunday, did you look at a stat sheet where you like, we gave up 280 yards at the first half?
No, I didn't. I didn't want to look at the stat sheet. I'm sure that would have really compounded on top of the feelings that were already there. But I mean, I knew it wasn't a good half at all. And yeah, we had to switch some things up.
You have to play 60 minutes that you faced in the last 2 games. How much does that help giving so much more consistent effort going forward?
Having gone through the adversity as a team or on defense. Yeah, on defense, you know, I think, like I said before, like this is an opportunity in my eyes to correct the wrongs that we've had. I mean, you talk about even though we played the way we did and still found a way to win with the offense that we got right now, it says everything about our team and about our chances of winning this game that's coming up. Because if we do shore up the things that we need to do, if we do come out and we play the defense that I know that we're capable of doing, I know we have a great chance of winning the game.
Right, you think Dre play with a ton of passion, and you can see it on the film. If you're watching that film and you see somebody going half speed or loafing, are you the kind of guy that gets in a guy's face and says, hey, that's unacceptable, that's not our standard?
You know, I think it's the thing that is more meaningful than just trying to get on specific guys, I think, is being the guy that shows, you know, consistency and is the truest example of exactly what we're looking for. You know, I can look at plays in this past game where I wasn't fully giving my 100% effort, you know, and it's like, who am I to sit there and talk down on somebody else when I wasn't all the way there, you know what I'm saying? So I'm always trying to look at myself first in the mirror and make sure that I'm the example. Today when we're out there to practice, how do you look in practice right now? Like, how do I look, and what example am I giving to my guys for what we're trying to look like on Sunday? It's not just going to happen just because we talk about it. It's got to be something that you do day in and day out, and we have that opportunity today.
Trent's locker situation is unique.
Yes, it is.
I think to the uninitiated who would be like, well, who is this guy? But I guess what does it say about him and his status on the team that I don't think anyone begrudges him his real estate?
Yeah, it is funny that, I mean, it really doesn't get talked about much. We just kind of walk by and we're like, yeah, this is just kind of, you know, Trent's little mall that he has right here. You know, it's, you know, just kind of his own little area. I mean, he's already got a gold jacket to his name, so I'm pretty sure he can do whatever he wants in that locker room, and guys are not going to say much about it.
But when you talk about learning from the last Super Bowl how important it is to play 60 minutes, how helpful is it to have someone like Charvarius Ward on the defense that has been through that and won a Super Bowl?
Yeah, I mean, it's just helpful to have a Super Bowl champ on our side, you know, a guy who is a Pro Bowler and an All-Pro and has been outstanding for us this entire year. You know, I'm really proud of Mooney, the way that he's competed and played this year. And obviously he's been there, he's done that, and having that veteran presence in the secondary is going to help on that side of the ball, or just in that area of our defense. And we're going to need him big time come Sunday.
You faced Mahomes 3 times. You haven't beaten him yet. What's the key to defending him?
Yeah, I think that's something that we got to continue to try to search for and find out through the tape leading up to Sunday. And, you know, I think he's obviously one of the greatest to ever do it, and he's going to have his plays in the game. We got to make sure we limit him to making it the least amount of those as possible during the game.
But have you seen Steve Wilkes grow as a defensive coordinator in your year together?
Yeah, I think just the thing that's been so great with him and with me and the entire defense is the flow of communication and continuing to, you know, to talk through things. I think him obviously coming down from the box to the sideline, me and him talked about it. You know, it's not about just like, you know, the whole energy of him being down there. It's more so about just being able to look each other in the eye and in those crucial situations where it's like, hey, what do you want? Like, what do you want? He's asking me, like, what do you want to play here? You know, it's not about just giving a call and making us play it. It's like, no, we're fully into this thing together. You know, we're gonna ride it out all the way to the end, and we have an opportunity to finish this thing the right way.
It's been a lot better in the second half of these 2 playoff games. Is he a guy who makes a lot of halftime adjustments, or how do you explain the better performance in the second half?
Yeah, I mean, that's consistent as long as I've been here. You know, I feel like even last year, even though we had a #1 defense, like there were times in games where like the first half just wasn't working for us, and we made like 1 or 2 changes in terms of just what we were calling, you know, simple adjustments, and then we start snuffing people out, and it's like, dang, like D'Amico's a genius. He made all these changes, and it's like, well, we made a couple changes, but it was just like a matter of just getting in the flow of the game and executing and just making a couple of adjustments. And I feel like that's been the same case here. It's not like we did a whole bunch different in the second half. It's just guys started playing, you know, and being more aggressive and stopping the run. So that puts more pressure on Goff, getting 3 and outs, getting a takeaway, like those little things like that.
Did you get a ring 2019 for NFC Championship, and where is it, and what are your thoughts on it?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know where that ring is, but I remember we got one. I was like, oh, this is cute. Yeah. Yeah.
You got Super Bowl second year, like, oh, this is the way it goes. Because Trent is like 52 and he's
Right.
going to his first Super Bowl.
A lot of Trent today.
Yeah, our secret. But do you have any sense of like just his journey, like having talked to him since Sunday, or you just know how much this means to him?
Yeah, I mean, I think we can all kind of sense how much it means to him, and you can sense it in the way that he speaks to the team. He always talks to the team right before we head out for the game, and and just the emotion that he plays with, the way that he plays, and the emotion he showed after the game, even after winning the NFC Championship, knowing that he has an opportunity to go to the Super Bowl. It means a lot to him just because at this point in your career, you're 14, having done everything, did all the Pro Bowls, all pros, and all these sorts of things. Like, you want to do something that is going to cement your legacy forever. Like, being able to win a Super Bowl is everything. So I know it means a lot to him.
All right, thanks, Brad.
Thanks, guys.